To treat my images, I utilize many tools and techniques to help create a work like Tom Phillips' original work, A Hummingbird. First off, I use the Windows Snipping tool to cut portions of the text and import them into MS Paint. Once in Paint, I use shapes to highlight the words I had chosen. While the shapes don't have a meaning, some pages are color-coded to help with the theme. I also utilized free-use images from Google to help allude to the theme on each page and structure the work. For each page, I decided to use a different theme to help make a message, such as page 6's theme of knowledge. I chose words or phrases that fit into said theme, even going so far as to cut some words so that they spelled something different. I used rivers of color to connect similar words, phrases, or to form a makeshift sentence. On this first slide, I have an image from my first page which I themed after Brendan, the main character from The Secret of Kells. I highlighted words that described him and inserted an image of hands because it is only Brendan who can illuminate the book with his own hands, a task passed down from Aiden. Next, there is the top portion of the previous page where the theme is still Brendan. This portion helps highlight the key things in Brendan's life. Friends, something which was necessary for him to accomplish his goals in the movie. Images and beauty, both are what Brendan is striving to create throughout the film. A masterful piece of art that is beautiful and composed of images. The red rivers crudely drawn between the words linking them show these are positive things in Brendan's life, and the eye represents the visual nature of these characteristics. At the end of each page examination, I have an image so you can see the whole page come together. On the second page, I took to characterizing Aisling. I used a pink line color to group all parts representing her together. Words like tree, forest, afraid, and suffering, all things which are associated with her in the film. The weeping eye shows her sadness and suffering, which is shown in small portions in the film, the total opposite of her typical personality. For my 8th slide, this is in the bottom half of the page where I highlighted the parts of the script, where Aisling becomes noticeably scared and her personality changes from a bright, jovial flower to a scared child. In the larger image, you can see the flower in the top left, which represents Aisling's typical personality. The layout of the page also shows her afraid personality hiding below or beneath her jovial, happier one. For my third page, I used the theme of good versus bad. What you see in this slide is the top half of the third page, which is red for the negative connotation each word possesses. Most of these words originate from Abbott Kellock in the film. He is one of the main antagonists. These words give off a harsh tone. This is emphasized by the color of this portion and the minus symbol depicted on the right. The peace symbol is there to represent balance. There must be good and bad, wrong and right. This page is half negative and half positive, creating balance and harmony as seen in the film. Kellock isn't all bad, he has good in him. The second portion of the page is entirely positive phrases and words. Some are repeats from the first page where they were also shown to be positive things for Brandon. The overall theme of this page is the balance of good and bad. In the full view of the page, you can see that the page is divided equally, further emphasizing the balance. Next up, we have the page where the theme is creativity versus uniform or strictness. The brown lines and circles highlight devices used to create or devices used to express creativity. The brush is just a more straightforward representation of this concept. If you look to the other half of the page, you see the side that represents order. The green lines connect nomos, which is a Greek word for law, sense, and history, all factual and straightforward ideas. This is also represented with the gavel and Gemini symbol serving as representation for a straightforward lackluster process and identical copies. When we zoom out, we see all this come together and overlap into both halves of the page. Because both ideas build of each other, you can't have one without the other. Finally, on this page, you see the word Lach, highlighted in blue. This is German for happiness. It differs in color from the other two categories because neither side can claim exclusively for themselves. This slide tackles a religious theme, mostly one of a Christian basis. The imagery, the first slide depicts a halo and light shining from the clouds, both religious representations of God. To contradict this background, the background is black. It is the darkness that this light shines through. Words were chosen that held some sort of significance to Christianity, like there is more than one dwelling place. In this case, it is referring to heaven, hell, and earth. In the full image, you see the light change to dark and heaven connect with earth. For my last theme, I chose knowledge. Something that has been important in our class this year. The first explains the significance of books, knowledge, and emphasizing passing down of knowledge. The pencil image envelops writing a tool used to record and store knowledge. In the larger image, we see the intertwining rivers signifying the connection knowledge and education gives to us. The quote, "He must light the way," refers to the need for people to further knowledge by embarking on journeys into uncharted territories, discovering new ideas and concepts along the way. The images on this page all represent extensions of humans' knowledge. The pencil used for recording knowledge, the brain used to interpret, process, and store knowledge, and the book used to pass on knowledge. Overall, these pages can be interpreted independently, or you could tie them all together because they'll have themes that relate to human condition and all utilize the same source material.